Hello, everyone. Welcome to our core stability session today. We're going to play a rock playlist and we're going to start with our hundreds. Go ahead and start on the ground, lying on your back. Head can be rested, feet flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling. Reach your arms long by your sides, palms face down outside the hips. And start pumping your arms, lift your chin to your chest. Shoulder blades hover. Think about exhaling and inhaling as you pump the arms. With those shoulder blades hovering the entire time, you're activating through the upper abs. Pump of the arms adds instability to make your abs work harder. If you'd like to add some more work through the lower abs, first push your back down towards the ground to get that engagement. And then you have the option to lift your feet off the ground, upside down tabletop, shins parallel to the ceiling, or extend your legs long to the diagonal. If you take either of those options, make sure that you're really pulling in those low abs to protect the low back. Keep breathing. And in 3, 2, 1, rest your head. We're gonna take it to crunches, sit-ups, or roll-ups. You choose which one feels best for you. I'm gonna describe crunches first. Hands behind head, elbows wide, feet flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling. You curl up, shoulder blades hover, and then you release. For sit-ups, you'll keep those feet flat to the floor, your hands reach to the ceiling, and then you'll roll all the way up, so shoulders stack over hips, and then your arms reach forward at the top, and then they reach towards the ceiling at the bottom, so the arms just stay directly in front of the shoulders, wherever the shoulders are facing. Or you change it to a roll-up, which is the same as a sit-up, except the legs are out long, extended. That's giving a little bit more base of support, extending your body weight longer on the ground. So choose whichever one's going to work best for you. Avoiding using momentum, trying to use the muscle. So if you do have your hands involved in any way, they're just along for the ride. They're not swinging. Got it. And in 3, 2, 1, rest your head. We're going to take it to single leg circles. So feet flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling. Press your palms into the ground outside your hips. Send your right leg straight to the ceiling with a pointed toe. And then you're going to draw circles across the body, so counterclockwise first. So we go left, down, right, and up through center. Keep your leg as straight as you can. And then play with how low and how big your circle is. The smaller and the higher your circle is, the more stability you'll have. The bigger and the lower the circle is, the less stability you'll have. You want to keep the hips still, the upper body grounded and still. If it starts to wiggle or wobble, make the circle smaller, make it higher. Reverse directions. Now we go clockwise, right, down, left, and up through center. Fight for that straight leg. Think about lengthening through the back of the knee. Nice strong point of the toe. Hip mobility, inner thigh strength. And in 3, 2, 1, bend your knee or rest your right foot on the ground. We switch sides. We send our left leg straight to the ceiling, point your toe, and we draw circles across the body first, which is clockwise to start on this side, right, down, left, and up through center. Push your low back down to the ground. Think about sinking your spine into the floor. Press hard through your palms. It's going to help give extra activation through the core to help stabilize through the movement. And we're going to reverse directions. We go counterclockwise, left, down, right, and up through center. Breathing, feeling the hips open up here just a little bit. Feeling the thigh burn with that nice straight leg. 3, 2, 1, bend that left leg and plant both feet flat on the floor. We're going to take it to single leg stretch. Go ahead, curl up, chin to chest. Hover those shoulder blades off the ground and pull your right knee into your chest, hugging it in with your hands. And left leg has the option to extend long to hover with a pointed toe. Shoulder blades are hovering and you switch. Left knee to chest, right leg long, switch and switch, 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 switch. Keeping the shoulder blades hovering still like a statue in place. Keeping them at the same height as the leg switch is the challenge. You're getting a nice stretch through the front of the leg as your leg extends. Stretch through the back of the leg as your knee hugs into your chest. And instability through the obliques, low abs, and upper abs here. And in 3, 2, 1, hug both knees to your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Rock side to side if you'd like. We're going to transition to double leg stretch. So both your arms and legs are going to extend away from the torso. So legs extend out straight, nice and long. Arms circle out to the sides and behind the head, and then everything hugs back in. And extend and reach, then hug everything back into a ball. Keeping those shoulder blades high the entire time. Keeping that low back glued the entire time. And 3, 2, 1. Hug those knees into your chest. Rest your head. Take your feet flat to the floor. Give yourself a little wiggle if you need. We're going to take it to single straight leg stretch. So you're going to send your right leg to the ceiling, nice and straight, toe pointed, curl up chin to chest. Both hands reach towards your right ankle. Try to grab as high on the right foot or leg as you can. Left leg extends to hover off the ground. If it feels better to leave it planted, you can do so. Switch sides. The left leg goes up, right leg goes down, and switch and switch. So while you're doing this, your shoulder blades stay in the same spot in space. And as your legs switch, your hands switch which leg they're grabbing onto. So they're always holding on to the leg that's high, and you're breathing. You got it. And then 3, 2, 1. We get to rest our head, bend our knees into our chest, and send our feet flat to the floor. Give yourself another wiggle if you need. Push your palms down into the ground outside the hips. Send both legs straight to the ceiling. Glue your thighs together to make one nice long leg. Point your toes. Fight for a straight leg. Try to lengthen between or behind the knees as much as you can. And glue that spine down. Double straight leg stretch. Lower your legs for 3 counts away from you, and then lift them back up to the ceiling for 1 count. So a slow lower and a quick lift. Take a nice deep breath as you go through. Really think about pressing the low back down. That's going to activate through the low abs. The low abs, it's what's working as our primary here. And then secondary, we have those inner thighs squeezing. And press down through the palms to help activate through the rest of the core to support. And in 3, 2, 1. Bend your knees into your chest and your feet flat to the floor. We're going to take it to our bicycle or crisscross crunches to finish out this core warm-up. Give yourself a wiggle if you need. Hands will go behind your head, elbows wide, and then you're going to curl up chin to chest, hover your shoulder blades off the ground. You're going to pull your right knee towards your chest as you crunch towards the right knee, reset through center. Pull the left knee towards the chest as you crunch towards the left knee. Come back through center. You have the option to turn this cross crunch into a bicycle crunch by extending your leg long to hover after the knee comes into your chest. Crunch, extend, crunch, extend. Try to keep your shoulder blades high and lifted off the ground. When you twist, your shoulder blade's going to want to dig into the ground. Make the twist a little bit smaller to try to keep it elevated as best you can. Keep those elbows wide. If they're behind your head, always the option to have them go across the chest for shoulder mobility. And 3, 2, 1. Rest. Nice job, everybody. I'm going to get a drink of water, and we shall continue with our standing balance up next. All right. I am up and at it, ready for our balance. So go ahead and come to standing if you're not already. We're going to start with our calf raises. Feet hip width apart, toes forward, heels lift and lower. As you do your calf raises, you're just tuning into your balance here. So I want you to think about pressing through both feet equally, and then maybe lowering the heels slowly rather than quickly as you move through to challenge yourself. Just getting calibrated here. Now we're going to add on a slow squat. You can take your feet shoulder width apart, toes forward, push your hips back, sink them down. Slow squat. Your hands can be on your hips. They can be in a prayer. Whatever's going to work for you at this time. When you're doing your slow squat, I want you to make it slower than you think you need to. The slower you go, the more of a burn you're going to feel. I want you to think about pushing the hips back first, and you will tip over through the torso, because as the hips push back, our torso comes forward, helping counteract that balance. It's just how our body mechanics are made. As the hips push back and you sink down, that's also going to keep the knees tracked over the ankles, so the work stays in the muscle and out of the knee joint. All right, we're gonna add on a high knee. So you're gonna do your slow squat. We're gonna move on the right side. So as you stand, or after you stand, your right knee comes to a standard high knee, forward, up in front of the hip, and then you set your foot back down and get into your squat. So you can either blend the movements together, stand as you do the high knee, squat as you reset, or you can stand, high knee, reset, squat. So it's all gonna depend on what's feeling good in your body. I want you to find something that challenges you. The slower you go, the more difficult this becomes to balance. You're increasing the time during the challenge. Now, option to add a twist towards the lifted knee. So squat, stand, high knee, twist your chest, your nose to the right, come back through center, and repeat. So now, instead of doing balance just front and back, we're adding that side motion to increase the challenge. You're taking this at your pace. Next time you're down, take it to a squat pulse. So stay in your lowest point for your squat, and then you lift an inch from there and get back into your low point. Try to make it lower every time, burning through the thighs. And in 3, 2, 1, straighten your legs forward, fold. You can adjust the width of your feet if you'd like. Hands reach down to the floor, hips are high, head hangs heavy. And go ahead and roll up one vertebrae at a time. And we switch sides. We're gonna recalibrate with our calf raises once again. Heels lift and lower, feet hip width apart. Get tuned into that balance on 2 feet once again. Think about slowly lowering the heels down. The slower you go, the more challenging it becomes. You got it. Breathe. Next up, we're gonna take it to our slow squat. You can take your feet a little bit wider if you need and take it to your slow squat. Push your hips back, sink them down, and then stand up. If you think you're taking it slow, can you take it even slower? That's the challenge here, is your speed, your pace. The longer you're in the exercise, the longer you're getting that burn. Push those hips back as far as you can as you sink them down. You got it. And next up, we're gonna add that left high knee. So you're gonna squat down either on your way up or after you've come up. You take it to your high knee, left knee only, and then reset, repeat. I'm wobbling on this side quite a bit more. So if you find yourself more wobbly on one side than the other, that's normal. That's okay. Meet yourself where you're at. Find your challenge point and stick there. Woo! Okay. We're gonna have the option to add that twist with the upper body to the high knee. So left knee comes up. The twist happens from the chest and the nose, and then you reset. So when I say the twist happens from the chest and the nose, what I actually meant is the chest and nose point left. The twist comes from the core. You got it. All right, next time you're in your squat, pulse. You got it. Sink to your lowest point, lift an inch, lower back down, pulse, pulse, pulse. Feel that burn. Get those hips back. Pull your belly button in. Slight gentle pull of those shoulder blades together. And in 3, 2, 1, forward fold. Legs straighten, hands reach down to the ground, hips high, head low. You can adjust the width of your feet if you'd like. And just let it go. This is your reset before we get back into ground core work. And then 3, 2, 1. Roll on up to standing. I'm going to get a drink and we meet on our backs on the ground. All right. Now, from your back, we're going to get into corkscrew. Rest your head, zip your feet, send your legs to the ceiling, inner thighs squeeze, press your palms down into the ground outside your hips. This is building off of those single leg circles we did at the beginning of our workout. We draw a circle with our legs in the ceiling, and then we switch directions at the top. We take it every other. Circle and circle. You're fighting for a straight leg here, lengthening through the back of the knee. And you're also fighting to keep that torso still, squeezing through the inner thighs. So you have the low abs because the legs are moving, and you're pushing the low back to the ground to protect it. You have the inner thighs because your legs are squeezing, and you have your obliques because the circle is shifting how your core stabilizes you through the movement. And in 3, 2, 1, bend your knees, send your feet flat to the floor. Head is rested. Send both hands straight to the ceiling. We're going to take it to a dead bug. Lift your feet off the ground, knees bent, stacked over the hips, shins parallel to the ceiling. Opposite arm and opposite leg extend to the ground to hover, and then they come back through center. So the arm reaches back behind the shoulder, and the leg extends long in front of the hip. You're alternating opposite arm, opposite leg. Now, this exercise is designed to activate through that ab wall here. Push the spine into the ground. Pull the belly button down to get a nice deep core engagement. If this is a lot on the shoulders, adjust your range of motion. If it feels good to do one limb at a time instead of opposites, you can do that too. And in 3, 2, 1, reset. Feet flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling. Give yourself a wiggle if you need. We're going to take it to our glute bridge series. Take your hands outside your hips, press your palms down into the ground. Squeeze your glutes to lift your hips towards the ceiling. And then release. So when your hips are in the up position, you're going to have a straight line from knees to hips to ribs, and then you go back down. Tailbone is the first to lift, followed by the other vertebrae, and the last to lower. The shoulders, the head stay rested. The hips go up and down, and they bring the low mid-back with them. Option for your challenge today: extend your right leg a little bit longer. Flex your right foot so your right heel presses into the ground and the toe is lifted. And then squeeze the glutes, lift into a bridge, and then lower. So just the right leg is extended. The left leg stays at home base. This is changing the work, making it more difficult on the right side for the time being. With that leg extended longer and the foot flexed, activating through the hamstring a little bit more right side. Try to keep the hips lifting and lowering at the same rate. Don't let the right hip fall behind. Press down hard through the palms, giving you an extra base of support and helping activate through the core to stabilize. And in 3, 2, 1, you switch. Right foot comes back to home base. The left leg extends a little bit longer away from the glutes. Foot is flexed, heel on the ground, toes lifted. And you do your bridges, hips lift and lower. So now the left side is working a little bit harder. It's a little less stable with the foot being further away from the base of the body. Taking it at your pace. Foot flexed is extra hamstring spice. This is also stretching through the hip flexors each time the hips are up. So really embrace that stretch. And in 3, 2, 1, bring both feet flat. I want you to send both legs straight to the ceiling. Keep your head rested. Keep your palms pushing down into the ground. Squeeze your legs together, straight to the ceiling. We're going to separate our legs, let them fall right and left into a V. And then you're gonna flex your feet and then bring them back together to face the ceiling. So pointed toes as your legs go left and right, flexed feet as they come together. This is a hip opener. This is inner and outer thigh strength and flexibility. Try to keep the upper body still. Breathe through it. Give your hips permission to release the tension. All right, now we're gonna build on this. Next time your feet are together towards the ceiling, squeeze the inner thighs, lower your legs away from the torso to a diagonal, and then when you're at your lowest point, separate your legs and then bring them back together at the top towards the ceiling. So legs squeeze, they lower, they separate and circle out to come together to the ceiling. So legs together, lower at the lowest point, they separate, they circle out to the sides and back together at the ceiling. You got it. So adding the low abs in there, keeping the low back supported. And now we're gonna reverse direction. So legs start at the ceiling, then they separate, they circle out and around, and they connect at your lowest point to your diagonal away from you, and then they stay zipped and they come back to the ceiling. So legs to the ceiling, separate, circle to meet at the diagonal, zipped together, come back to the ceiling. Separate, circle as they lower, zip together, come back to the ceiling. So just the reverse direction of what we just did. And 3, 2, 1. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little wiggle if you need. Now we're going to send our right leg to the ceiling, left leg to hover. Knees come back into chest, switch sides. Left leg to ceiling, right leg to hover. Knees to chest, and repeat. The leg that's going to the ceiling is stretching through the back of the leg, fighting to lengthen through the back of the knee. And the leg that is extending long is helping activate through those low abs, those obliques, pushing down hard through the palms outside the hips. Good job. And in 3, 2, 1, rest your feet flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling. We're going to bring the upper abs back into the picture here. Go ahead and either take your hands behind your head, elbows wide, or hands across the chest, and we're just going to start with some side crunches. You're going to crunch right, come through center, crunch left, come through center. So hands behind head, elbows wide adds more work because the weight of your arms are now past the line of your abs, so your abs then have to lift that. Or you can have your hands across your chest, which is easier on the shoulders, but you're going to lose that light support behind the head. So both have their pros and cons. You just choose which ones are more important to you today. And now you're going to take your left hand either behind your head or across your chest. Right hand is going to reach towards the outside of the left thigh, and you're going to crunch here and repeat. So right hand reaches outside left thigh, crunch, release, crunch, release. Obliques activated because we are off center. And 3, 2, 1, switch sides. So that right hand either comes across the chest or behind the head. The left hand reaches to the outside of the right thigh. Crunch, release, crunch, release. Breathe. Think exhale to crunch, inhale to release. And in 3, 2, 1, release. We're going to come to a seated position. So from your seated position, feet will be flat on the floor, knees to the ceiling, sitting nice and tall, shoulders stacked over hips. And then you're going to reach your arms forward at shoulder height, palms face each other, fingertips forward, and you're going to hinge back slightly so that your shoulders come behind the line of the hips. And then you're just going to fall back an extra inch and then lift another inch. So you're going to start at your lowest point, You're gonna go an inch back from there, and then you're gonna come back to what is your lowest point. And that becomes a trick because your lowest point ends up becoming your home base, and you push it from there, finding that strength. As you hinge back an extra inch, feeling that work through the ab wall, think about leading backward with your belly button, and then as you reset, think about leading with your chest, trying to keep that core nice and tight the entire time. You're only moving about an inch or so. It's very tiny. If you need to take your hands behind your thighs, light touch behind your thighs for more support, instead of reaching them forward, you can. If you want some relief for the shoulders, hands can go in a prayer in front of the chest as well. And in 3, 2, 1, sit up nice and tall. Give yourself a wiggle, shoulders stacked over hips. And we're gonna get back into it. We're gonna reach the arms forward or a light touch behind the thighs, hinge back. And this time we're gonna add a twist to activate through the obliques. So keeping your tailbone pulled down, shoulders behind the line of your hips, twist your chest, your nose to the left, come back through center, and stay left. Twist left, come back through center. So now, if your arms are forward at shoulder height, they're just staying in line with the shoulders. Shoulders twist, so they twist. They stay directly in front of the shoulders the whole time. If your hands are in a prayer, that works great. If you want your hands on your thighs for a little bit of support, you can take a light touch to the outside of your left thigh and then twist from there. Keeping your hips as still as possible. The hips are gonna wanna twist to take the movement out of the abs to give them some relief. Don't let them do that. We want that work. And in 3, 2, 1, come back through center, sit tall if you need to give yourself a wiggle, shoulders back over the hips. And then we're gonna take it to the right this time. So my arms are reaching forward, hinge back from the waist, shoulders come behind the line of the hips, feel that ab wall engage, and then we twist right, come center, twist right, come center. So again, you can have your hands in a prayer, arms can be long extended in front of the shoulders, or hands can take a light touch to the outside of the right thigh. As you twist, release, twist, release, bring out the abs. Again, the hips are gonna wanna twist here, don't let them. Keep them as still as a statue, keeping that twist all through the obliques, through the core, bringing out the abs. And in 3, 2, 1, come back through center, release, sit tall, shake your shoulders out just a little bit, give yourself a wiggle. And we're gonna build off of this with our saw, which is a seated windmill. So sit tall, shoulders stacked over hips, feet go a little bit wider than the hips, arms to your T shape, shoulders stacked over the hips to start. And then you take a nice big inhale, think about lengthening through the crown of the head to the ceiling, and then you're gonna twist right hand to outside of left foot, left hand open is wide, open back through center, arms stay in that T shape, and repeat. You're gonna inhale through center, exhale, left hand to the outside of the right foot. So twisting side to side, like we do in our standing windmill, but this time we're just seated. Getting a nice twist through the obliques, through the core, and we're getting a nice reach forward, a nice little stretch as well. Try to think really sitting tall as you come through center. Sit at the center, let yourself elongate through the spine, lift the crown of the head before you go into your next reach. And in 3, 2, 1, release that. Nice job. We're gonna take it to starting to focus on the posterior chain, backside of the body, in our bird dog next. So I'm gonna get a drink of water and meet me in tabletop. Okay, so for our tabletop, we're gonna start hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. For our start, we're gonna curl our toes under and we're gonna come to a floating tabletop, okay? So the knees are going to hover over the ground, but the knees still stay bent and they still stay directly underneath the hips. The only thing that changes is the shins are hovering, the knees are hovering an inch or so. And then we're gonna flow through down dog to floating tabletop. So hips go up to the sky, legs straight, arms straight, upside down V shape, and then you're gonna come back to the floating tabletop with a flat back. Hips up, nice stretch. And then knees bent directly underneath the hips, back is flat. Flowing through here. Big work on the thighs, shoulder mobility. You've got it. Keep the head in line with the spine. So wherever the spine is reaching, so is the head. So when your back is flat, your head is in line with your spine. Next time your knees come to floating tabletop, just take it to a standard tabletop. Knees come back down flat to the floor. You're on all fours. And we take it to our bird dog. We're going to do one limb at a time to start. Right arm reaches forward in front of the shoulder, set it down. The left arm reaches forward in front of the shoulder, set it down. Left leg reaches back behind the hip, reset. Right leg reaches back behind the hip, reset. Repeat. Arm, arm, leg, leg. You have the option to stay here, or you have the option to take it every other when your cycle finishes. So opposite arm, opposite leg. Reach forward and back and reset. So the arm reaches forward at shoulder height, the leg reaches back at hip height. Right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg. Or keeping it arm, arm, leg, leg. When you're doing your bird dogs, your back needs to stay flat. Your belly button needs to stay pulled into your spine to accomplish that flat back. And your head needs to stay in line with your spine. Think about the neck as an extension of the spine, and let's treat it that way. A nice long line from the top of the head through the tailbone. Keeping your back as flat as you can. Balancing something on your back. Let me think. An empanada. Today, for me, it's an empanada on my back. Cycling through. And in 3, 2, 1, rest. Come back to all fours, and we're gonna come down to our belly buttons. Lay on our bellies. And you're gonna start with your arms long by your hips. Strengthening through the posterior chain, building off of what we just started. So your hands are gonna start by your hips. You're gonna take a nice deep breath. You're gonna push your hip bones down towards the ground and pull your belly button towards your spine. And then you're gonna lift your chest and your legs off the ground, upper and lower body. Lift just an inch or so, and then they release. Lift just an inch or so, and release. Feel the shoulder blades pull gently together. Feel the legs lift with a squeeze through the glutes and hamstrings. Next time you lift, circle your arms out to the sides and up in front of the shoulders, and then circle them back to the hips and then lower. Lift, arms circle out and forward, out and back by the hips. And then reset. You got it. Next time you're in your up position and your arms are forward, hold there. And breathe. Superman. Try to see if you can lift your legs just a little bit higher. Squeeze through the glutes. And release back down to the ground. Next time you lift, I want you to sweep your arms back by your hips and bend your heels towards your bottom. And go ahead and lift. Arms sweep back, bend your heels towards your bottom and hold in this lifted position. Now, I physically cannot reach my feet. I have a very long torso. If you can reach your feet behind you, feel free to reach for them and really elongate and lift higher, kicking into your hands. If you can't reach your feet like me, just keep reaching your arms back nice and energetically, pull the shoulder blades together and bring those heels as close to your bottom as you can. Trying to keep the thighs lifted, hips pressing down. And 3, 2, 1, release down to the ground. Nice job. We're gonna windshield wiper. Take your hands, stack one on top of the other underneath your forehead and just use them as a pillow for your forehead so you can face straight down. Bring your heels towards your bottom and then windshield wiper them. Let your shins, your feet fall right, left, coming through, center, rainbowing. releasing any tension through the low back and hips. And in 3, 2, 1, release that. Nice job. We are going to get into our glute series next. So I'm going to get a drink of water and we'll do clamshells today. Lay left hip down, right hip up. All right, for your clamshells, left hip down, right hip up. Take your left elbow and put it underneath your shoulder, propping yourself up, form forward, palm face down. If that doesn't feel good on your shoulder, you can rest your head in the palm of your left hand or use your left arm as a pillow. Your right hand can either press down into the ground in front of the torso for more support, or it can go on your right hip to help you hold yourself accountable. You choose. Pull your knees in towards your chest. Your right leg is stacked on top of your left. The higher or the closer your knees come to your chest, the more of a burn you're gonna feel. I at least want your knees in front of your hips. If they come closer to your chest, that's on you. Now your right hand, again, wherever it's gonna be, toes pointed, and think about stacking your right shoulder over your left. Take a nice deep breath, and we're gonna take a standard clamshell to start. So your feet, the inner edges of your feet stay connected. Your right knee lifts and then lowers, lifts and then lowers. As your right knee lifts and lowers, this is where if you have your right hand on your hip, it comes in handy. Your right hip is gonna wanna dump backwards to make the movement bigger. But what we actually want is that isolation and that strength through the outer right glute. So if you keep your right hip stacked over your left and don't let it dump backwards, you're gonna get more work even though the movement is smaller. So sometimes bigger is not always better. So if you have your right hand on your hip, you can help feel that. But if you have your right hand on the ground, you're also getting more activation through your core. So you choose your support and how you'd like to use it. Now, with these clamshells, yes, we're still lifting right knee and lowering it. Think about pulling your rib cage away from the ground. Depending on how you set up, your right rib cage might touch the ground regardless. But if you think about pulling that rib cage up towards the ceiling, you're going to get activation through the obliques whether or not it's lifted. And in 3, 2, 1, keep your right leg stacked. You can rest it. Now we're just going to do the toe lifting or the foot. So knees stay together. The right toes lift an inch or two and then tap back down, rest on the left foot. Right foot lifts, lowers, lift, lowers. Knees stay connected. And now we're going to do it every other. Knees together, feet apart. Then bring the feet together as the knees come apart. Internal and external rotation of the hip. You've got it. We're going to get really spicy here in a second. All right, now you can stack your right leg over the left. We're resting for a moment. And then I want you to lift your right leg to hover over the left so that your right leg stays at hip height, completely hovering, mirroring the left. Now point your right toe if it's not already, and then keeping the thigh exactly mirroring the left thigh, you're going to extend your right leg forward, straight, toe forward, and then bend the heel towards the bottom once again. So the right thigh stays in the same spot in space, hovering over the left. The lower right leg extends forward and then bends. So keep the right knee in place as it bends and extends. Hovering at hip height, no higher or lower. And next time your leg is extended forward, I want you to lower, tap your right toe on the ground, and then lift it. So the leg stays forward, it's lifting, and then lowering. It lifts to hip height, lowers to touch the ground. Feel that burn. And in 3, 2, 1, rest that leg. That's the right glutes for you. We're going to switch sides. Get a drink if you need, and then we'll transition. Right hip down, left hip up. for clamshell series part 2. Take a nice deep breath. Pull your knees towards your chest. You're propping yourself up. Right arm. So elbow can go underneath the shoulder. Hand can be used as rest your, you know what I'm trying to say. Or arm as a pillow. Pull your knees to your chest as close as you can. And left hand can either press down to the ground in front of the chest or be on the left hip. Point your toes. We start with our standard clamshell. Standard clamshell. Your left knee lifts and lowers. Your toes stay connected, or the inner edges of your feet stay connected as that left knee lifts and lowers. The closer your knees are to your chest, the more you're going to feel this burn. Feel the engagement through the left glute. We were here for a while on the other side. We're going to be here for a while on this side too. So think about that left hip. Don't let it dump backwards like it wants to. If it dumped backwards, that's taking the work out of the glutes. But we're here for the glutes, right? So we want to keep that left hip stacked over the right. Sitting nice and tall and proud. Breathing. Outer glutes on fire. Think about pulling the rib cage up and away from the floor, activating through the obliques, helping stabilize the form. And in 3, 2, 1, rest that left leg on top of the right. Keep the knees glued together, the thighs glued together, and lift to the left foot and then lower it back down to stop on top of the right. So we're getting an internal rotation of the hip. And this is warming us up for what's next. So knees stay together, left foot lifts a couple inches and then stacks back on top of the right. Think open, proud chest. Pull the shoulder blades gently together. Try not to collapse through the chest. And now we take it every other. So knees together, feet are apart, and then feet come together and knees come apart. Keeping that hip in mind, nice and stacked. We've got it, internal and external rotation of the hip. And in 3, 2, 1, stack your legs, so left rests on top of right, and then lift your left leg to hip height. Point your toe if it's not already. Extend your left leg forward and then bend. I want your left leg, your left thigh to stay hovering over the right the entire time. It's the lower leg that's reaching forward and back. Think about that left knee staying stacked over the right, hovering the entire time. So as the knee bends and extends, it stays in the same spot in space. You gotta fight for that extension. And next time your leg is straight, nice pointed toe, you tap your toe on the ground and then lift it up. So it stays extended straight. Can you make it come forward a little bit more? Tap, lift, tap, lift. The lift only goes to hip height. It burns. And in 3, 2, 1, rest. Nice job, everybody. I'm gonna get a drink of water and then we're gonna get into a short, quick 4 sets. All right. When you are ready, we're gonna lay on our backs, feet flat to the floor, head rested. And to start, we're gonna start with penguins. So you're gonna curl up, chin to chest, shoulder blades hover, arms reach long outside your hips. And you're gonna do side bends with the upper abs activated. So your right hand reaches towards your right ankle, come back. Left hand reaches towards left ankle, come back. So your shoulder blades stay hovering the entire time. You're doing like a waddle, side bend, side to side. Obliques are the target here. You've got it. And in 3, 2, 1, rest your head. Take your hands, push them down into the ground outside the hips. Extend your legs a little bit longer so they're not as close to your glutes. And then we're going to alternate toe taps. So lift your right leg up so that shin is parallel to the ceiling. You still have a bend in your knee. And then switch. Right toes tap the ground, left leg up. Switch and switch. The longer your legs go, the more difficult this will be to stabilize through the low abs. Low abs are the target. Low back pushes down towards the ground to activate through the low abs and protect the low back. You've got it. And in 3, 2, 1, both feet flat on the floor. We're going to take it to a sit-up. If that's not happening for you, make it your own. And we're going to roll up. Arms reach to the ceiling. Come all the way up. Ooh, it's almost not happening for me. Shoulders stack over the hips. And then roll all the way back down. Upper abs are the focus, but it's full ab wall here. And then we'll take it from the top one more time. After this. And rest the head. Feet flat to the floor. Knees to the ceiling. Feet can come closer to your glutes at this point. Curl up to your chest. Penguins. Arms reach right hand to right heel, left hand to left heel. Side bends with those shoulder blades hovering. And in 3, 2, 1, rest the head, extend the legs a little bit longer, and we're going to alternate toe taps. Right toes tap the ground, lift, left toes tap the ground, lift. The longer your leg is, the more instability you're going to feel. You breathe. And in 3, 2, 1, we roll up. No, the music changed. Let's just finish our couple roll-ups, sit-ups, and then we'll stretch. Couple more. And after your next one, release, exhale, take a nice deep breath. I'm going to get a drink, and we will start our cool down. All right, I'm going to start in cat-cow on all fours to decompress the spine and loosen through the front of the abs. So hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. As always, feel free to follow along with me or do what feels best in your body. Start with a flat back and a nice big inhale. On your exhale, you take it to cat. Tuck your chin to your chest, push through your palms, spine to the sky. And then when you need to inhale, you take it to cow. Push your belly low, roll your shoulders down and back, point your nose forward. And again. Curl your chin to your chest, push your spine to the sky, push through your palm. And flow through with your breath cycle. Maybe it feels good to wiggle side to side or put shift weight forward and back as you go through your motions. Find what's going to feel good. And when you're ready, come to a flat back. We'll take it to our down dog. Curl your toes under, send your hips to the sky. Pike the hips up. Pull the chest towards the knees. Push the heels towards the ground. And bend those knees. Softly come back down to the ground. And we'll roll onto our backs. From your back, hug your right knee to your chest. Extend your left leg long. Maybe it feels better to plant your left foot on the floor. And you breathe here. Maybe you do ankle circles with your right ankle while it's there. Maybe on your next exhale, you open your right knee to the side towards the right shoulder just a little bit more to open up through the inner thigh, outer hip. When you're ready, we're going to take it to our twist. Left hand to the outside of the right knee. Guide the right knee up and over towards the left. Right arm opens long to the right. Nose points right. And that right hip can peel off the ground as much as feels good to you. We have a glute stretch. We have a spine twist. We have a shoulder opener. And when you're ready, come back through center. Give yourself a little hug, rock side to side, and extend your right leg long, left knee into your chest. Maybe you do ankle circles here. And option to open your left knee just to the left an inch or so towards the left shoulder to open up through the inner thigh or hip. Right hand comes to the outside of the left knee. Guide the left knee up and over towards the right side of the body. Left arm goes long to a T. Nose points to the left. Spine twist, glute stretch, shoulder and chest opener. Come back through center. Hug your knees to your chest. Rock side to side. Massaging out the spine a little bit if that feels good. And roll up to seated. For your seated forward fold, extend your legs long in front of you. Sit nice and tall, arms by your side. Inhale as you reach your arms out to the side, up over the head. And exhale as you fold yourself in half. Reach your fingertips towards your toes. Release through the entire backside of the body, stretching from heels to tailbone through the crown of the head. Let your shoulders sink away from your ears. The shoulder blades separate, releasing through the mid and upper back. Go ahead and release that. We'll come into our butterfly. The bottoms of your feet come together to touch in front of the hips. The knees point out to each side, hinging forward from the waist. Take your legs to a wide V shape, wider than the hips, straight forward, and walk your hands forward to get a nice stretch through both the backs of the legs and the inner and outer thighs, the hips. Building off, combining the butterfly into the standard forward fold. Think about sinking your shoulder blades down and back. Let them separate. Let the shoulders come away from the ears as you actively reach those fingertips forward. Come back through seated position or seating tall, and you can come into your child's pose rest position to finish our stretches. Tabletop position. Knees go wide, toes come together behind you. Sink your bottom back towards your heels. Reach your fingertips forward, stretching and elongating through the spine. Tailbone pulls back as the fingertips reach forward. Take another couple deep breaths for yourself. Go ahead and stop.